Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the MSP Growth Academy. I'm Yates over here at Zsphere, and this week I wanted to talk to you about something that's really important to a lot of businesses, and that is planning for growth. Now, in particular with MSPs, especially kind of small to medium-sized MSPs, most businesses actually have a management team that has a technical pedigree rather than a sales and marketing or business development pedigree. And so planning for growth is actually something that can be quite challenging. But there is a really simple way to kind of plan out what you want to achieve for next year and kind of understand how feasible it is and understand what you think you can achieve for the next commercial period. And so it's really important to actually take a snapshot of a period in time of the performance that you've had, let's say in the last 12 months. And so let me try and explain that by using an example. So here we go, we've got some information down here on the bottom of the board. Hypothetically speaking, right, let's say that last year your company generated £100,000 of revenue in a 12-month period. Okay, what you need to do is basically break down the kind of history as to where that money came from in terms of number of orders and average value. So let's say, right, that was 50 orders or 50 customer accounts that we got, that we generated revenue from, and that therefore means that to achieve the £100,000, it was a £2,000 average order value. So okay, we know that's 50 orders that we've got. So there's always this awkward conversation that appears, in business development meetings or sales meetings or senior strategy meetings when someone says, right, what are we going to do next year? What are we going to achieve? And if you haven't planned that out, it's always quite tempting just to kind of stick your finger in the air and say, oh yeah, do you know what? Let's go for double-digit growth, or let's go for triple-digit growth. Well, actually, it's useful to kind of understand the amount of energy and time that you've put in to create what you've already got, and that allows you to then kind of do something that's relative for the following year. But it's good to be aspirational, ambitious at the same time. So you're in your meeting and they say, do you know what, we're really going to push it this year. We're going to go for £300,000 for revenue for the year. Like, wow, okay, that's a really big goal because we only did 100k this time round. So what does that mean? What have we got to do to get there? So it's really simple, this. It's nothing complicated, but a lot of companies don't do it. So you have 50 orders. To get your 300k, you therefore need 150 orders at a similar size to your £2,000 average order value to get your 300k next year. That's pretty simple maths. Now, the really interesting thing occurs when you look at lead conversion, okay, because, I'm absolutely sure that to get your 50 customers, you didn't just get 50 leads last year and they all converted through to sale, that you had a 100% success rate. That doesn't really happen to any company, not that I've ever seen anyway. So you need to understand what your lead conversion to sale is. And lead conversion to sale is basically the process from which the moment in time when someone expresses an interest in your particular service to the moment they sign on the dotted line and pay you for it. Okay, so in a lot of cases you might say that a regular MSP will have a 30% lead conversion to sale, because if 100 customers get in touch or express an interest, 30 of those might end up being customers. Okay, so it'll be different for everybody, and of course it's important to try and increase your lead conversion to sale all the time, get it as high as possible. But we're going to work on the basis that, the average MSP might have a 30% lead conversion to sale. Okay, so if that's the case, last year to get your 50 orders means that you actually handled 166 leads to get to your 100k. So that means this time round, to get your 300k, you're actually going to need 500 leads to get through to 150 orders, right? So that's when you can sit down in your meeting and say, right, how difficult was it to get these 166 leads? And you can say, well, actually, it was all through referrals. We didn't really try that hard. So you can say, well, do you know what then? Maybe if we do some proactive marketing and engagement, this is probably pretty achievable. But if you say, well, do you know what? We slogged our guts out to get 166 leads. Like, it was really hard work. We tried everything. Then you probably need to look at some further investment, extra resources, trying something different, getting some help to make sure that you achieve your 500. So just going through this process will allow you to understand the level of feasibility of your ambitions, and once you've got this figure, then you can kind of sit down and think, right, where are these 500 leads going to come from? And it's kind of like admitting that you know where you need to go, what you need to achieve to end up with this result. It's a really, really simple framework. I'm not saying that it's anything kind of, massively out there or overly complicated, but it is something that allows a lot of businesses to kind of understand what they can achieve in a reasonable amount of time. I hope it's been useful. Please feel free to subscribe to our channel or check out our website at zsphere.com, and we publish these videos on a regular basis. And thanks for checking in, and look forward to speaking to you soon.